Hello there, and welcome to the slightly rescheduled and revenued British Grand Prix of Global Formula Automobilista Season 3, where, as you can see, taking pole position is former championship leader Nico Hulkenberg. He had an absolutely terrible round last time out at Monza, so hopefully this race will be a bit better, and he's starting on pole, so let's see what happens. Sterling Moss, second in the championship, is right behind Hulkenberg in second place for the Red Knight. Red Knight, of course, current Constructors' Championship leader, so this could be quite a decent battle, especially as Felix Costa, who's in the other DTK, second in the Constructors' Championship, is third. Phil Hill puts a stunning qualifying performance to get himself up into fourth place. Ahead of Sebastian Vettel in the Harvey. Harvey finished third in both seasons so far, but this hasn't been that great from the team in pink. Perhaps a return to purple is in order. Scott Dixon takes sixth. Siggy Pop have had a pretty disastrous season, even though qualifying in most of the races would say otherwise. But sixth it is for Siggy Pop today. Nick Heidfeld, seventh for Cass Racing, championship leader, and of course came second in Italy. And he's on a good run of form, 2 podiums in a row. Of course, winner in America. If he can keep his tyres going, this could be a good race. Beitske Visser is 8th. NLE have finally made the upgrade to high downforce now that we approach Silverstone. It seems to be working. And Milos Pavlovic is in 9th. Ahead of Mika, Hakkinen in 10th place for 2KF1. Gurney is 11th. He finally got a second point scoring finish of the season last time out, so let's see if he can improve. Ayrton Senna, race winner in Italy. First win for the Falcon team. Can they get back up there again, although they've got low downforce, which might not be useful for them. Max Verstappen is 13th, ahead of Alexander Rossi. Jenson Button is 15th for the Harvey Racing team, ahead of Lewis Hamilton. 16th for Cass. John Watson is 17th place, ahead of Mahaveer Gurney and Lando Norris, both choppers, having out-qualified Alain and Prost, who's low downforce, who really served him well at Monza for his best finish of the season. Not helping him here at Silverstone, where you need a little bit more downforce and grip. As the grid is going to line up, Prost's going to get in position at the back as we prepare for the start of the British Grand Prix. Of course, it was supposed to be at Snetterton. It was at Snetterton until halfway through the race. Some unlapping issues that we had for one of the Excelsior's France happened, so the race got cancelled and it's been rescheduled here at Silverstone. We are go! Hulkenberg chucks his way across towards Moss. Moss has got the inside line for Abbey. Moss is going to take the inside line. Hulkenberg runs really wide as Moss takes the lead. Hill is up ahead of Felix Costa. So the DTKs both shuffle back a place, and Felix is having a go back. Oh, and we've got an LLE Motorsport has rolled as Beitske Visser has rolled out of the race. Well done about the race, but has rolled at Village on the first lap. That was spectacular. Visser, here we go, brilliant start. Got past 2 cars up into 5th at this point. Dixon challenges around the outside, but can't really hold it. This has got a great run here on Vettel. Goes up the inside, clips the curb, it lifts up and rolls over the top of Vettel. 3-4 barrel rolls, and Visser is probably not going to get going again. Let's see what that was like from on board with Vettel. That must have been terrifying. So you can see Visser at the inside, she clips the curb and just whoa! Oh my goodness, that is something else. Where is Dixon? But Dixon's watching Visser here. Visser clips the inside curve, balances up both wheels, gets to the point where the aerodynamics don't do anything, grip rolls over, upside down. Luckily, neither head is hit, as Visser just bounces over the top. And Heidfeld's going to have got a good view as well. Look at that. That is absolutely mental. Yeah, one final shot I think we'll get. over the top of Vettel. Bouncing, here we go, from the inside. Way! Boing, 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 boing. 4 rolls and lands on her wheels. Unlucky there for Visser. I think she's getting going again. Here goes Hulkenberg up the inside of Brooklands. No, Moss keeps the lead. There we go, end of first sector. Senna's up 4 places through all that chaos. As Felix is back past Phil Hill. Stirling Moss. Now I think that's a brilliant shot of them flying into Cop's corner. Hamilton's got Rossi around the outside. Into Maggots and Beckett's they go. One of the best sections of corners on the planet. Storming through down the hanger straight. It does look like this has managed to get going. Landing on the wheels really helped the Dutch girl. A Dutch woman, that's the word I actually meant to find. Over the hill down towards Vale. So Stirling Moss has the lead at the end of the first lap. And then Nico Hulkenberg and Felix Costa. Phil Hill, Dixon, Vettel, Hakkinen's up 3. So it all gets a bit messy here as Rossi's up a few places. Oh, as Pavlovic takes a lot of curb through club. That's a massive slide, loses time. And Visser is still going, so well done. Cars built with strong stuff, so I think Jeff's the name of the factory, something like that. The NLE factory builds very strong cars, as proven by that. Hulkenberg is just starting to kind of keep behind Moss, cannot keep up for the moment. Felix Costa really can keep up. So this is at the moment good for GTK in the championships. Well, with Dan Gurney through Cop's corner, I think. And then Maggots and Beckett's. Just a little lift, still 7th gear through the first part of Beckett's. That's good driving. And Gurney's really caught up to Senna through there because it's all the downforce section. But now Senna's going to pull away down the straight. Not the longest of straights, but still topping out at 2:11. Of course, Falcon still at low downforce, has still got short gears. Still haven't really upgraded the car apart from just a lot of power and some good drivers in that car. So they're going to hit top speed very quickly, as we've just seen player actor Heidfeld in the Cass, who's got the long gearbox, probably should be a little bit better down, although a little bit faster down the straight. But who knows, if you're only topping out once a lap, then that's probably pretty good for lap time elsewhere. Not going to be good for overtaking though. So on board here with Stirling Moss, he's got half a second back to Hulkenberg, who is catching down the straight. But for the moment, keeps ahead. Hulkenberg's not really close enough to make a move. He has dropped Felix Costa, 2.5 now back to his teammate. Dixon's having to worry a little bit about Vettel, who's actually having to worry a bit more about Hakkinen behind. Always a bit wide there, Vettel, through Cops. This is going to give Hakkinen a chance. It's 0.18 seconds, so Hakkinen is super close to Vettel, but the error wake is going to slow him down here through Beckett's. So Vettel's down the slipstream at Dixon and trying to catch up. So at 3 miles an hour is what Vettel's doing, so we know that Senna might be maxing out at 2:11. But, well, we know Senna is hitting the limit, but he's maxed out to 2:11, which is still at 8 miles an hour faster than that. So once they catch up, they should be quicker, down the straight at least, like pass. So Hulkenberg sets the new fastest lap of the race. Still filed down the Hamilton straight, up into Abbey. A little rise into Farm. Smash on the brakes here for Village. Oh, Senna has lost his front wing somewhere. Ayrton Senna in the 2 corners where I wasn't looking. He's lost his front wing. So what's happened here? He lost it. Oh no, he's just missed his braking point and crashed into Heidfeld. So last week's race winner, or the last race winner, Ayrton Senna, is down a front wing. That is going to absolutely ruin the Falcon strategy, if they had one. So we'll just see how he falls back. So Dixon under pressure here from Vettel. Hakkinen's back under pressure from Heidfeld. Gurney gets past Senna, who's now going to have to worry about Pavlovic trying to get through. Let Pavlovic up the inside into left field. Good place to go through. Rossi's going to try and follow, as is Hamilton. Senna gets a bit sideways and that holds Hamilton up, giving Button a run. Button's also having to lift off, so Verstappen turns up. Button and Hamilton tried to go around. Oh, 3 wide into Cops wasn't going to work when one of them hasn't got a front wing and can't go quickly through. But they all swapped through. Hamilton has lost 2 places and he almost runs into the back of Verstappen through maggots. The choppers are now fighting to get past Senna. Of course, the problem they're going to find is that Senna might have had no momentum, but he should be super quick. Oh no, he's lifting off. He's letting him through. He knows this is the place to do it. As Prost gets through. So he's not even made it to the pits and Senna is effectively last. Finally makes it into the pit stop. Out front, Moss has managed to pull 1.5 seconds now to Hulkenberg, so he's found a second since Hulkenberg set that fastest lap, so it obviously was a bit of a mistake there for the DTK driver. And Felix Costa has fallen quite a way behind in the meantime. It's Phil Hill here, under pressure from Scott Dixon. Dixon has found some pace out of nowhere, because he was nowhere near Hill last time I checked. As Vettel is now under pressure from Hakkinen. Can Dixon get a move on Hill, somewhere maybe into Cops? We'll see what happens. Not into Cops this lap, but he can follow from Mags and Beckett, so we see him move into Stowe. Not this lap. It seems that Brooklands is probably going to be the best place everyone's going to find to overtake. Now, some interesting upgrades news is that since the rescheduled Snetterton race, both Cass and Chopper have managed to complete the upgrades that they planned to bring in for Snetterton that failed to do so. Meaning that Cass is still on low downforce. They seem happy with that. That seems to be their strategy. But Chopper have finally managed to catch up with the rest of the grid. So now everybody on the grid has 1.1 times engine power speed. So they are all the same power. It should mean that the Casses are close to each other. As I thought I saw a move in the distance, it was Heidfeld getting close to Hakkinen, but being unable to pass because, you know, corner and downforce are things that you need. Heidfeld right behind Hakkinen though. If he's feeling brave, he's going to go side by side into Cops, but Hakkinen's got the outside line, he's got the downforce. But Heidfeld, there's contact on the exit of Cops on the exit curve, but Heidfeld's low downforce package allows him to get the top speed to get away past Hakkinen. That could have ended in tears and ended up with some airplane crashes. I've seen enough big crash in the exit of that corner when cars do that to know that you don't want to try it too hard. That is not the place to have contact. But Heidfeld up to 7th now, and he chases down Vettel. Dixon is falling a bit back from Hill, but Hill is really catching up to Felix Costa now. As we start another lap, so Phil Hill, as we head down newly renamed Hamilton Straight, up towards Abbey, little lift, keep it flat through farm, move over to the left for village, Big braking point. Don't do a Visser and take that sausage curb. Get it lined up for loop. Let's select through this little curve straight into entry corners. Felix da Costa lifts off, and Hill has to jump out the throttle. Oh, Dixon's nowhere to capitalise on this, but Hill's in the slipstream. Oh, he's going to go the inside into Brooklands. Felix leaves him space, but it is worth going for an outside line here. Felix da Costa battling into Luffield. He's got the inside and he's getting through. And Hill has to settle for fourth as Felix da Costa wasn't forceful enough on Felix, but he's going to take the inside line for Cops. Are we going to... No. Hill gets on the brakes too much. He doesn't want to risk it. But he's got the momentum again on Felix da Costa as we're going to head through Max and Beckett's. It's a real momentum section where you can start making tight lines from the beginning. You can have a much better exit down this straight. Hill in the slipstream with Felix da Costa. Is he going to move into Stowe? He's thinking about it, he's thinking about it. Felix da Costa runs a bit wide and Hill's going to... Oh, I know Hill had to take too wide a line. And in fact, it's given Dixon the chance to get through. Dixon on the inside through Vale. Hill's dropped back to fifth as Scott Dixon is up into fourth place. So what looked like a chance to take Felix da Costa has ended up with Phil Hill falling behind Dixon. Now he's in trouble as Vettel's thinking of a move. He's had to lift out of it as Heidfeld is nowhere near close enough to capitalise. But now Hill is close to Dixon and Dixon is Felix da Costa, so this might be the only respite Felix has got. The top two have disappeared, but everyone from 3rd to 19th seems to be in a big long train. There's a few tiny gaps that are slightly bigger than everyone else, but they're all together pretty much. Hamilton actually under pressure here from Norris, not down the straights though. Here Scott Dixon, Harry May's move up into fourth. Did it at Vale last time, big braking point. It's amazing this track, 18 corners and yet you only properly hit the brakes 3 times, and even then Brooklands can be classified as a medium braking zone because it's still a pretty quick corner. Because it's so curved, you're just kind of braking through the turn. So really Village and Vale are about your only proper braking points. I mean, what? The first braking point is obviously Village. Loop is nothing on the brakes, really. Brooklands, as I said, is more of a feed than a massive stamp on the brakes. It's such a long turn to the apex. Luffield is nothing. Cops is basically flat. Maggotts and Beckett, you don't need to press the brakes much for, and even Stowe is like 5th gear in modern car. I mean, we'll see what the top boys are doing this lap. Sterling Rossi, you can see he's 1.8 seconds in the lead, looking quite happy with himself. Him and Hulkenberg on the little breakaway train. Here we go, Cops, what are we doing through here? 160, just a lift down to 6th gear, that's nothing. Lift, tiny tap of the brakes, tiny tap of the brakes. And you're barely registering any brake temperature with that. Here we go into Stowe, so we're going from, what, 197 miles an hour down to 4th gear. That's not using the brakes, really. That's child's play. Oh, Heidfeld had a big twitch in the braking zone just as the camera flicked away. We'll find out what that was in this replay. He's firing. Oh, yeah, he's twitched and he's gone to the curb. And he's now drifting it through Stowe. This is going to give Hakkinen a chance to make some time up. And put some pressure on. So Moss pulls away a little bit from Felix from Hulkenberg. It's 5 tenths faster than Felix is an extra. Yeah, these are all getting slower behind, so I think this Costa has got the pace over the rest of them. Not by much. Alexander Rossi did 37, so I think Jenson Button has overtaken Rossi on that lap. It's Prost who's having to defend here from Visser. Visser who does not want to try and do an overtake into Village, having already rolled there this race. Any movement up ahead? Doesn't look like it. This is unable to get past Prost here because Prost has got that low downforce, which is just giving him enough down the straights. So Visser now with the downforce. And look how much she's closed in on Prost through Luffield. You have to lift out because you can't really go side by side through Woodcut because it's not going to end well. And you're going to carry so much more speed for Cox. Come on, Beitske, get the move done into Maggots. Got round the outside. This is going to be frustrating because she's not going to do it if you're going to keep trying that. So you've got much tighter line, much more speed through Beckett's, but doesn't have the gearbox or the downforce or the low drag to deal with it down the straights. Moss and Hulkenberg are just gapping each other here. As I said, at the moment Moss is second in the championship with Hulkenberg third. Both of them with Heidfeld down in 7th. Well, it'll all jump up and they'll all be pretty similar actually. They'll be in very similar places. Of course Hulkenberg is only 1 point behind Moss now thanks to his pole position. Rossi trying to fight back on Jenson Button. Rossi of course won the German Grand Prix and just hasn't shown much pace since then. Should have arguably won in America at the home race until that little twitch in the high speed corner sent him off into a massive crash. And I don't think he's been the same since that. It's kind of knocked his confidence. And Rossi hasn't been the driver we've expected since then. Automobilist teammate Phil Hill, who's still sat in 5th, wondering where it will go wrong. And the list goes on and on. So, pit stops will be starting to get close, I reckon. Lap 13 is about the time when you're going to start to see the 3-stoppers want to move in. This is a very high deg circuit, so I would not be surprised if most or almost everyone does a 3-stopper here. They're going to tear through their tyres like nobody's business. 2-stoppers are going to have to make another 5 laps, lap 17, or like even lap like 80 or something. If they're on like lap 16, that's probably the cusp of being able to turn it into a 2-stop. You're just going to have to run very long on the final set of tyres and hope that the front left doesn't go pop at about this point on the last lap, because that will not end well. Watson here is just stuck behind the chopper, cannot find a way past for Jonathan, no matter how hard he tries. Here we go, in the slipstream of the Indian. No, not going to make the move into Stowe for the moment. Here we go, so Scott, there you go, Scott Dixon, lap 13 is going to be the first to come in, so exactly on time to make it a 3-stopper. Ragunathan also. Prost and Visser, are they coming in? Doesn't seem so. So we do have two drivers coming in. Earliest possible stop. Oh, Verstappen, I don't know what he was doing with Rossi, but he was super close and then not. Pavlovic is stuck here behind Gurney and Hakkinen, hoping he can find a way through, but you can see from the sliding that they're starting to struggle with the rear tyres. That's that front left that gets punished, especially through corners like this one, Cop's corner. Beckett's as well, this right-hander, is monstrously fast. And of course Stowe, the next one, is another high-speed corner, but it just tears the tyres to shreds. And they're all to the right, so it's the front left. It just doesn't know when it's going to get a rest. Dixon brakes for the pit lane, here we go. First scheduled pit stop. And Dixon is going to stop. Just provides a few drivers up. Hill is now released, but he's coming in this lap. Stirling Moss from the lead is going to make his pit stop. Now, Moss's tyre management is 70, and compared to Hulkenberg's got 76, which is equal to his teammate, and they're both the highest. So Moss has got the fourth highest. He's only one of 4 drivers that have their tyre management into the 70s, so this could be a warning that even the drivers good at running their tyres haven't got a hope of making 2 stops here. Hill is coming in, Hakkinen's coming in, as is Gurney, Button as well, and Hamilton and Norris, and Prost, as Dixon has returned just behind Beitske Visser. I think Senna might run wide there at Village. Oh! Senna's obviously showboating, so he's taken a bit of curb there. So there's Ragunathan. Oh, yeah, Senna's gone. I don't know what Senna's doing, but he's hitting a lot of curbs and running wide. I mean, he's lost 7 seconds since his pit stop to the leaders. And you're on brand new tyres, mate, what are you doing? So Moss throws it into the pit lane. Hulkenberg is going to carry on and assume the race lead. Yeah, so Moss in the pits, Hulkenberg becomes the new race leader. Phil Hill comes into the pits. Vettel carries on. Heidfeld carries on. The pit lane entry, because of the way it is, it just messes up with the orders until they're through. So it's a DTK 1-2 at the moment, as neither DTK is coming in this lap. So as I said, they might be trying to push it in another lap or two and get a 2-stop out of this. Well, lap 15, so the next be lap 16. So yeah, I think almost definitely one of them at least is 2-stopping. Vettel's coming in, Heidfeld is coming in. Pavlovic not so far. So Pavlovic is also on 72 tyre management. So I think Pavlovic and the DTKs might be the only ones with the ability to 2-stop this. Moss has appeared behind his teammate. He's 19 seconds off the lead. Rossi is 7th and needed to come in. Verstappen's coming in. Watson's coming in. This is up to 10th now. And yeah, Visser is right ahead of Scott Dixon. Phil Hill is behind Dixon now, and Hakkinen's there. Gurney, Button, Hamilton. Right, so Felix da Costa has now got 9 seconds on his teammate. Let's see what this lap time is. Now he's got some proper clear air and he's been told to push. It's a 35-2. And Hulkenberg is coming in this lap. Okay, Hulkenberg is going to pit this lap. Felix da Costa, 35-70, yes, he's just half a second to his teammate. And he's not coming in yet, so Felix da Costa might be two-stopping this. Pavlovic is coming in. Moss is obviously now, well, net race leader? Not really, because Felix, or whatever, he's the first of the drivers who have pit stop, and he's fourth. So at the moment it is DTK 1-2, Red Knight 3-4. Visser fifth is coming in. Dixon now sixth, is stuck behind Visser. On his brand new tyres, once he's close he should get through. We'll stick with this, I think. In the slipstream. Dixon's charging up here. Got the inside line, surely this is going to be a move. This is going to try and fight around the outside, which leaves with the inside line for Luffield, and we've seen that the outside line Luffield doesn't really work. Especially if Phil Hill's going to get involved here. Hill is trying to battle Dixon, get back in the slipstream, and Dixon's gone from challenging Visser to actually be under pressure from Phil Hill. Hulkenberg's in the pits, no, Dixon has fended off Hill for the moment, but his line has been compromised into Maggots and Beckett's. Dixon under pressure from Phil Hill. Hill's got the inside line into Stowe corner. Hill's braver on the brakes. Oh, and there's contact, and Dixon is flung out wide. There's wheel-to-wheel contact. Sterling Moss sets the fastest lap in second place. Oh, this has squeezed him. And Dixon's had to get out the throttle because the way that straight works. So Hill goes up the inside. Oh, and that's careless from Dixon, but he's managed to keep it going. Hasn't lost any places to Vettel. Might lose something in the pit stops though. Who knows? We'll see. Hulkenberg exits the pits in third. So Moss has got 5 seconds now over Hulkenberg. So Hulkenberg, having extended his run, has lost about 3 seconds in that pit stop window, thanks to Moss's massive undercut. And Felix Costa is coming in at the end of this lap, but I think he might be able to make this on a 2-stop. Hulkenberg potentially after a very long and tiring final stint. This is bang on the money for Felix da Costa to make a 2-stop work. He'd just have to do one extra lap on one set of tyres, and he'll be fine. So Moss has got 7.5 seconds really to make up on Felix da Costa and that extra pit stop. Oh, yeah, 7.5 seconds to make up on Felix da Costa to make up for the extra pit stop that Moss is going to have to make. So is anybody else needing to pit this lap? I think that is everybody. So, here we go. So, as Felix da Costa enters the pits, Sterling Moss takes the race lead for Red Knight Racing. So, it's the new fastest lap, and looking pretty solid up front. Nico Hulkenberg is in second place with DTK Racing, our pole sitter. These two are a mile ahead of the pack. Until Felix da Costa is going to exit the pits, and he's going to be side by side with Phil Hill, but he's not. Hill up into third, having beaten Felix da Costa on the undercut, although as I said, Felix is probably doing one less stop, which will throw a spanner in the works. So Felix da Costa fourth now, down one place as Hill is up fourth, so these two have swapped, and Dixon is up one into fifth. Vettel has lost a place, and Heidfeld in 7th, where he started the race. Hakkinen's up 2, and Gurney is up 1, so there's been some decent passing here. Jenson Button has moved up 4 places from his grid spot. So Alexander Rossi's made it up 2, but you feel like he probably could have done more. Verstappen is where he started, and Hamilton's up 2. Magunathan's up 3, which is impressive, as is Norris, so the Chopper's actually doing quite well for once. They finally have the pace to battle the back of the grid. John Watson is where he was. Prost is up 2 as Visser is down 11, having had a spectacular crash at the beginning of the race, and Senna down to 20th, having also crashed at Village, this time hitting Heidfeld and losing his front wing. So 34.7 for Moss, Hulkenberg 34.5, so Hulkenberg was slightly quicker than Moss on that lap, but only by 2 tenths. Felix to Costa, knowing that he's got to make his tyres last a bit further than these guys, but he's got brand new tyres and nobody else around him does. This could be where Felix is looking quite strong. He's going to chase down Phil Hill, and Dixon is falling away, having made that contact with Hill, he's really dropped back, and now he's under pressure from Vettel. Yeah, 1.2 seconds to Felix. Felix is 2 tenths behind Hill. He has got an absolute flyer out the corner. Out of Ayrton, down the Wellington straight. Felix to Costa takes the inside line. Oh, where's the helicopter view? They're side by side in the exit. But we've seen that if you've got the inside line for Luffield, these guys are struggling to hold it around the outside no matter what kind of tyre advantage you've got. Felix is going to get the slipstream in the run. Oh, he's had to lift out because he didn't want to. I don't think he wants to make movement to cops. He's not that stupid to. He's going to sit behind and just let those tyres take the corner normally. Don't put any extra stress through the high stress corner. Some clever driving there. Just make sure it counts into Stowe. No, I don't think it has, as Felix Costa falls back. Vettel is also right behind Dixon, and Heidfeld is getting close as well. Heidfeld in the slipstream. 212 miles an hour. Not great. So Felix Acosta or Phil Hill, when you make a move into Brooklands again, and Moss is winning the little battle with Hulkenberg for the moment. I think Felix Costa needs to get past Hill as soon as he can if he wants a chance of winning this race, because Moss and Hulkenberg's pace has been electrifying, and he's already almost a pit stop behind them. Silverstone is a short circuit. Oh, sorry, it's a long circuit with a short pit lane, and therefore you can try the 3-stop without as much of a penalty as elsewhere. But Felix needs to get past Phil Hill if he wants to make this work. Hakkinen here is sat there as Pavlovic and Gurney are battling it out. Heading towards Costa. Pavlovic has got ahead of Gurney now. So they're both challenging Hakkinen. Gurney out the inside of Pavlovic into Costa. Pavlovic holds it around the outside, but Gurney has got a much better exit. As the compromise line Pavlovic had to take has allowed Gurney back through. Great bit of driving there from the pair of them to not stick it in the wall and also not fall too far away from Hakkinen. Still only 4 tenths. Here's the instant gap. On a braking into Vale, Hakkinen taking a lot more entry curb. We're going to go to Moss and we're going to do some Apex Watch. We've done it a few times, it's good fun just to see what kind of speeds they're taking through the high speed corners. We're going to do cops because why wouldn't we? It's from the high speed corners of the track, so here we go. Stirling Moss, 159 it dropped to. Just before the exit curb. Hulkenberg, yep, 159 as well. Hill is still managed to hold off Felix Costa as he makes his way up towards the corner. Oh, 158, 155, 151 for Vettel. Pavlovic was in the 140s because he was battling, as Rossi was in the 130s. Hamilton on his own attempts to do 150 because he's got the low downforce setting. Watson was in the 40s. Prost had had a stinker of a race. What's he going to be like in his low downforce car? Oh, 148. Visser's taking it 157, catching right up through there. So you can see the guys at the front just have more commitment through the corner and are much happier through it. They've also got the downforce to help them do it around the track. This is definitely a circuit of making sure that you're able to keep the momentum up through all these high speed corners. Yes, there are long straights, so the low downforce helps down them. But what's the point in gaining 50 miles an hour down a straight? You can take the corner before it 10 miles an hour quicker and gain 45 down the straight. Or you can gain 30. Make up all your time at the beginning of the straight, not the end of the straight. If you look at speed time graphs and telemetry, its acceleration is where lap time is and carrying speed through corners rather than top speed. But on a circuit like this where it's all high speed corners, you just need that downforce. Because they're high speed and they're long, you spend a lot of time in high speed corners on this track. That's the important part. Maggots and Beckett's is just, it's a section of corners that's all very quick and takes the same length as one of the longest straights to go through. It feeds into one of the longest straights, so you just want to carry more speed onto it. Moss is comfortable out front, and Hill is doing a fantastic job of fending off Felix da Costa. I think Felix's new tyres have finally kind of lost their extra quick edge, and Felix is just having to be canny here, try and work out a way to scare Phil Hill out of the way so he can get in front. I mean, he's closing Felix, but he's just not able to send it on the brakes really. Hill is just keeping his nose in front. And Felix is having to sit there. It's 20 seconds now to gap back to Moss. I think Felix is now battling with Hulkenberg for second place. I don't think there's a win on the cards unless Hulkenberg... Well, if Hulkenberg's two-stopping, why would that be a win for Felix da Costa? Hill has had to make a really awkward line through Cops there, but Felix has also lost time in the process. Vettel is right on the back of Dixon once again. We're battling for fifth now. Moss is going to start on that. So Moss is a 34.9. Hulkenberg has been falling well. I'm expecting about 35.0, 35.1. 35.2 even. Okay, yeah, so Hulkenberg really is dropping back. Tyre is doing his utmost to get past Dixon, but it's tough. Oh, that was horrible traction out of club. That really was utterly horrible traction onto the Hamilton straight. Felix sits in the stream of Hill, not close enough to make a move yet. Neither is Vettel for the moment either. Heidfeld closes up down the section of straights, but then is hit by two corners. That's where all the time gained evaporates to. So Gurney is kept ahead of Pavlovic, and Hakkinen has just gapped the pair of them lightly. That'll be handy in his battle. Hamilton has left the choppers behind, as Watson is still stuck behind. And Visser just cannot find a way to get past Alain and Prost. Ride with... Oh, that was a lot of engine revs there from Nick Heidfeld. Abbey is another fast corner of the track. It's not as quick as Cops, as we just seen. He's taking 150-ish. But there's another one where you need a lot of commitment. Dixon looked really wide through Village there, which is giving Vettel a better line for the loop. Could this be Vettel's chance to get past Scott Dixon into Brooklands? He's in the slipstream. Dixon slightly defending into Cops, which is not going to allow him to take as much speed and would have hurt his tyres. And of course Dixon was the first to pit at the beginning of this race, so he's, as we approach half distance, he's going to be getting ready to make his second pit stop of the day. So Dixon's tyres will be coming to the end of their life. Felix hasn't got past Hill. Heidfeld got close to Vettel into Stowe there with the top speed. Pavlovic has soared past Gurney into Stowe corner, so that's a pass from the Red Knight driver. Race winner of course early this season, Pavlovic. Won on his debut, which really was a surprise because out of the three drivers at the front, Pavlovic wasn't one of them, and just happened to luck out with the two-stop. Kept his tyres going, and the DTKs couldn't respond. Dixon happy with his tyres for another lap. Good news for him and the team. Felix and Hill cannot swap places. Moss has got the gap to Hulkenberg up to 7 seconds now. Mighty scrap between the pair of them, as of course, as I said, they're battling for the championship here. Pavlovic is quite a way down, and Heidfeld's not doing great in 7th. These two were duking it out for the race lead at the Snetterton race until the lap, I think it was about 27 or something, timing mishap, which ruined everything. So far, fingers crossed, we've had nothing of the sorts here at Silverstone, as everyone is looking pretty good so far, and this is all closing up the championship race. Felix cannot get past Phil Hill, and this is really hurting his attempts at two-stopping. Dixon is coming in this lap, so we've passed the half distance mark, and Dixon is going to make his stop. What are we looking for? 52 times 2 divided by 3. If I put 52 and not 53, wouldn't it? So, lap 33, 34, 35. That's about the point when I expect the two stoppers to have to make their stop. To try and hold it on for, that's another 8 laps or so. It's quite a big difference. So Felix is going to have to go for quite a long way compared to Dixon. But Dixon has managed to hold Vettel off, and Heidfeld, and that's what we want to see. Felix has been half a second behind Hill ever since he failed to get past that first time. Vettel is half a second behind Dixon, as we're just going to watch as Dixon's going to peel into the pit lane. It's a good pit lane entry design here because it's very easy to file into, and you don't need to lift off on the racing line. You don't just take an odd line into the corner, you just take your normal line and swoop right on the exit and just hope no one's on your inside, because otherwise they're going to get fed into that tyre wall on the right, and it's going to be a big mess. And it does happen very occasionally, but there's always crashes at pit entries on every circuit. This is just one where it's infrequent rather than frequent. As expected, Ragunathan is also coming for his pit stop. So Moss is nearly an 8-second lead on lap 27. It's getting closer to putting a lap there on Ayrton Senna, although Senna has made 2 stops. And Moss will enable to make his pit stop before he gets a chance to lap Senna yet. But Senna clearly showing that the Falcon just does not have the speed here. Because despite losing his front wing, he's been losing time hand over fist. He really hasn't. I mean, look, he's behind, 12 seconds behind Ragunathan. They both stopped twice. What does that tell you? So Phil Hill from 30 is coming into the pits. So he's going to release Felix to Costa. He's now going to have to go a long way, another 6 or so laps before his pit stop if he wants to go to the end in one more. And he's probably going to end up behind Hill again, because Hill's going to undercut him with the new tyres. You know, even Vettel and Heidfeld, when they make their stops, could get past. So Moss is coming in this lap. Let's get Hulkenberg back in the lead. Is Hulkenberg... did he pit early enough to make it to the end of one more stop? Moss has almost definitely got 2 stops. Gurney's coming in, Hamilton's coming in, Norris is coming in, so Hill has actually turned out behind a Hamilton who's going to pit. Verstappen, Rossi, it's far apart, so Phil Hill has basically got clear air. Just wonderful news for him. Dixon has turned out. There's 2 cars between him and Hill, so Dixon has not had a great time in the pit window. Milos Buttons, he pops out in 17th. Moss comes in from the race lead. Hulkenberg will therefore streak through into the lead eventually when he navigates the chicane of Vale and the exit corner through Club. Hulkenberg takes the lead. He's not coming to the pits yet. He's happy with these tyres for the moment. I don't even know if Moss is going to lose second place to Felix to Costa looking at that. If he does, he'll get past in a couple of laps at most. There's Moss. And no, Felix isn't close enough to get past Moss. He's got one opportunity here to slow up Sterling Moss, but already Moss is ahead of Felix Acosta, so if Felix is trying to stop this, he knows he's behind Moss. As Dan Gurney's out. Dan Gurney is out the race. What's happened to Gurney? Oh, his engine's smoking. Gurney, Mr. Bad Luck. Mr. DNF, Dan Gurney, comes into the pits with his engine smoking. And the team just decides to stick him in the pits and leave him there because he's not going to go any further. I said he finally got his first point, or second points of the season, but it's all gone wrong for the American. And another retirement for Siggy Pop. What do they do to get someone to the end of a race? I do not know. I don't know what curse they've got, but it's not a nice one. "22 laps to go here. Is that enough for a set of tyres? Not yet, I don't think. They're doing, what, 13? The furthest between set of tyres do is 17 laps. So it's 5 further laps than they've done so far. This is where we see with DTKs. Has this worked out for him? I think it was Pavlovic was the other one who went wrong. So look out for him. Vettel and Heidfeld, though, they still aren't coming in. They're probably going to be the next to jump into the pit window. At 31, and yes, Vettel's coming in, as is Heidfeld. Hulkenberg and Felix Costa aren't yet. Pavlovic happy on his tyres. Rossi kicking up the dirt on tyres that have only got 3 and a bit more miles to do. Verstappen coming in. Hill has made a stop and he's 9th. Dixon is, what's that, 5 seconds behind Hill. Pit window has not been kind to him compared to Phil. Watson's in for his stop. Visser is ahead of Button. Bit out of sync, I think. Visser's gone a long stop as well, having had the roll at the beginning of the race. This Button is right behind Visser. Can he make the move into Brooklands? In the slipstream, he's going to pull to the inside, but I think it's too late. No, he's going to go for it. He scares Visser, but Visser's got the outside line, which is going to be the inside for Luffield. But no, Button cuts in front. Takes the position. And Jenson Button up to 12th. Lap 32, Nico Hulkenberg is coming into the pits. He's got 20 laps to go after this. Will he tough it out? So 15 so far on a set of tyres, or is he just going to have to do a splash and dash for 5 lap tyres, for tyres that have got to do 5 laps at the end of this race? We'll wait and see. But this is, Hulkenberg's going to have to nurse his tyres because it's probably DTK's only chance of winning the race unless Moss does then crawl lower on it like blow up. Felix Costa is nowhere near Moss, and if he's only going to pit once more, so's Moss, so Moss is ahead. Pavlovic also decided to come in so far, so the Red Knight's long stinter isn't going to make it much further. So Dixon is 4 seconds ahead of Heidfeld, and a further 2 ahead of Vettel. These 3 were right with each other before that pit stops. And Vettel is the real loser out of all of that. Hakkinen has jumped past Button. As Rossi's under pressure here from Verstappen. Rossi's got a good close-up of Rossi's rear wheel there. If he has enough wheel to go through Woodcut. You can feel the bumps on this track. Look at this, if they just wiggle their way down. Verstappen right in the slipstream here of Rossi. Can he use his teammate to try and make this move happen? He's going to be later on the brakes. Verstappen up the inside of Alexander Rossi. Rossi's going to fight it around the outside of Stowe, but it's not going to be the move. So Rossi's got a lot of curb, and Hamilton has already got it the inside of Rossi before I had a chance to switch cameras. Rossi gets back on the inside line through Vale. That's a big curb hop and he's lost a lot of momentum. Hamilton stuck behind Rossi, had to jump out the throttle. He thinks about moving to Abbey. Oh, and he runs wide at the end of his own straight. So Visser has made it a stop. That's what we were waiting for. Oh, exit curb. Exit curb has lost Rossi so much momentum. Hamilton's got the low drag. This has got to be a move into Brooklands, almost certainly. But no, he just doesn't have the downforce for the braking zone, and Rossi keeps the position. Unexpected, but that's how it is. So Button is now right behind Pavlovic, who's a long way behind Hakkinen. Of course, they weren't battling with Gurney, but he blew up, so he's not in this battle anymore. Vettel now 7th, behind Heidfeld, who's jumped up ahead, and Dixon into 5th. Felix to Costa, here we go, lap 34, so 16 laps to go. Yes, Felix should easily make this on a 2-stop. So really it's between Felix, Costa and Hulkenberg here for 2nd place. So the DTKs splitting their strategy. Felix getting stuck behind Phil Hill, not being able to get past, has kind of thrown away his chance to win, but now it's a battle with Hulkenberg for second, and this could detriment Hulkenberg's championship. That said, Felix is only 8 points behind Hulkenberg, so he's not out of it either, and there are still 4 rounds after this one. So you cannot count them out, especially if DTKs are looking this strong. Of course, we've got Austria next after this. Then we have a new race at the Polish Grand Prix. It's a fun little circuit we're racing at in Poland, so look forward to that. Japan, we're going back to Okayama because that last race was just pure memes. It was hilarious. I've just got to go back there. And then we finish the season with the Automobilista Grand Prix, which is actually going to be at Interlagos. We always start the season in Brazil and finish the season in Brazil, and this time we decided instead of starting the season in Interlagos, let's finish there, try something different, see what it's like as a season closer. So after this second set of pit stops here, everyone seems to just spread out a little bit. So the lack of differences of power is not really allowing racing to happen. I'll have to have a look and see if there's anything I can do for next season with that. Moss's undercut is he's got 12 seconds now over Hulkenberg. I think Hulkenberg's just accepted his fate. As Felix de Costa's just exited the pits right with Scott Dixon. Oh, that was super close. That was almost too close. Felix has got the outside line for the loop, just going to give Dixon the inside line, so Felix now needs to try and slipstream Dixon down into Brooklands and get him up the inside. Brand new tyres. This is your chance, Felix, because you got stuck behind Phil Hill last time and it ruined your chances. Don't do it again. But it will seem like he's doing it again, so that's his problem, not mine. Well, it is mine because he's my driver, but we skip over that. Felix is thinking about the outside line into Cops here. He's forcing Dixon to make an awkward line, but he's not able to keep the speed up through Cops, so that's Felix's problem. Getting the slipstream. The first corner, Moss here trying to put a lap. Oh, he has put now a lap on Ayrton Senna, who's just come out of the pits. Dixon keeps the lead through Stowe. Oh, I think Button's crashed or spun or something's happened to Jenson Button. His engine's blown up. Jenson Button retires from the race with a massive engine fire at maggots. Oh, it's gone through Cops. That's big flames. And he's finally spun off his own oil. Lucky not to hit the wall, because that is not the place to spin off. At all, it really is not. I've seen enough people hit that wall very hard, more than just Kvyat, and it's big. Button pulls off our second retirement of the race after Dan Gurney. Not a good race there for Harvey, but luckily for them, their higher placed driver in Sebastian Vettel is still going, both in the race and the championship. Pavlovic, potential 2-stopper, he's in 9th, so potentially run up to about 4th, could fall behind him after the next set of stops. Felix is not close enough to Dixon to make a move here. The DTK seem to have overall pace, but not much overtaking pace. And I think the Stirling Moss has just got so much more pace than the both of them, that he's cruising up front now. 12-second lead over Hulkenberg is pretty solid, I think. Who's that? It's Watson and Regulathan. So Watson is stuck behind a chopper once again. what camera do we want to play with for a bit? I don't want to use them because they kind of break the fourth wall. If you know what I mean. If you do know what I mean, that's useful. If you don't, well, Google it. Dixon just has enough down this straight to keep Felix da Costa behind. Once again, Felix though, as I said before, I think he's just trying to keep those tyres going so he doesn't have to pit again. So he knows he's going to get past Dixon anyway, when Dixon makes his pit stop. But it's not helping him in his battle with Hulkenberg, and to be honest, with Phil Hill, Dixon's 8 seconds behind Hill, and Hill's going to have fresh tyres at the end of the race. He could catch and try and pass Felix da Costa in the last couple of laps. Especially if Felix battles so hard here that he tears his tyres up. Just thinking about the move, Felix da Costa inside of Stowe. Incredible move actually, as Felix da Costa makes the move stick. And through Stowe, as I was all messing up trying to find the right camera view, basically missed the whole thing. You got Felix da Costa up the inside of Dixon. Dixon left him space, tried to fight around the outside, but in the end just gave it up as a move that was, or a battle that was just going to ruin both their races. Felix da Costa now has got ahead, so half a second to Dixon out of Vale. What kind of a gap can he pull? He's got 8.3 seconds to get towards Phil Hill. This is make or break now for Felix da Costa. This is where it matters. Moss is so comfortable. 12.5 second lead. What do you mean? That is something else. Hulkenberg second. Hulkenberg chucking it through Cops once again. Dixon close to Felix, but you know, it's the lap after the overtake, you can expect that. Didn't make a move into Brooklands, which Felix will be very happy about. He'll be very, very happy about that he didn't just get past straight away. Dixon takes a lot of curve away into Cops and misses the apex. He's still closing on Felix in the slipstream. I don't know if Felix has got the pace here. Again, he is trying to nurse the tyres a bit more than everybody else. Dixon's not able to get through on Felix. Phil Hill crosses the line, 35.5. Antonio Felix Costa first lap in clean air. 35.5, Dixon 35.9, so Felix has managed to drop Dixon, so he is quicker. He's got to do, he's definitely quicker than Heidfeld to run 6, and Vettel. Pavlovic is now chasing down Hakkinen. Seeing what the Serb can do against the Finn. And that could have been a move into Village, it almost is a move into Village. Pavlovic, what a chance, he's going for it. He's going to have to fight on the outside of the loop. And lets Hakkinen take the position, and he doesn't get the exit to back it up. So Pavlovic went for the brave move into Village, but it didn't pay off as much as he hoped for. And such a tricky kind of breaking point and long apex at Brooklands that they're just not willing to throw it up the inside as much, because they're struggling to get it stopped as well. Pavlovic in the slipstream into Cops though. Look at the outside line, has to lift a bit too much though. And Hakkinen sitting in the slipstream. I reckon this could be moving to Stowe, you know, a bit like what Felix da Costa just did. Incidentally, Felix has got 1.7 seconds on Dixon, that's impressive. big rasper on the brakes. Rossi and Verstappen battling over 10th place. There's just been no pace in that Falcon today. Prost has been nowhere, and yeah, Senna was battling and he has lost his front wing, but he's not exactly shown like pace to catch up to the pack. Visser caught up and has started to battle through, although he's fallen at the wayside recently. Look at that, 27 seconds separating the top three, and 34 at the top four. Felix really has thrown the gauntlet down, so he has now dropped Dixon. Now he's had that lap to kind of settle himself. Antonio Felix de Costa is looking pretty strong. Is it going to be enough to get past Hill? Oh, it should be. Oh, it's not going to get past, but get past him in the pits, of course. But I think he's too far behind Hulkenberg. I think Hulkenberg's going to come out ahead of Felix de Costa, even after his pit stop, and then of course Hulkenberg's going to have the brand new tyres. That is of course if Hulkenberg is 3-stopping. If he does end up behind Felix, he'll probably only have about 5 laps to make a move, because I think Pavlovic has finally got past Hakkinen. Judging by that, looks like it's been a move into Stowe. Pulls to the inside, later on the brakes. Hakkinen just accepts defeat. He's not going to fight it around the outside as he gets to the exit curve. Pavlovic up to 8th place. Hakkinen now under pressure from... Well, Verstappen's more under pressure from Rossi. I don't think he's going to be too worried, although Rossi is so much wheel spin from club. That is ridiculous. So, where is Scott Dixon? Lap 39, so Dixon is already past, we're nearly at the point that the 3-stoppers are going to start making their final pit stops. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Dixon's name flash up saying he wants to come in at the end of this lap. And there's only about 10 laps to go, so this last set of tyres isn't going to have to go too long. But you don't want to pit too late, because otherwise you're not going to have enough time on the new tyres. Yeah, Dixon and Ragunathan I can see wanting to come in pretty soon. Yeah, Ragunathan's still not... Like, Dixon hasn't extended an extra lap over Gurney, and that's what I wanted to say. Yeah, Scott Dixon into the pits at the end of this, lap 42. So here it is, last roll of the dice. Who is going to come in? Who is going to brave it out in the tyres that they put on however long ago they put them on? Definitely a few who I... Yeah, the DTKs, Pavlovic, they definitely could go to the end on these tyres. A few of them like Moss definitely aren't going to go to the end. Verstappen has caught Hakkinen now and he's actually going to challenge him under the brakes. Verstappen now enjoying the high downforce package that NLE have finally managed to afford to put on their car. Long gears helping Verstappen get some good top speed. He's got the inside line into Cops and Rossi is trying to capitalise as they're all holding each other up. Rossi's sitting here hoping that they screw each other over enough that he can get past the both of them. What's going to happen here? Verstappen pulls to the inside of Hakkinen. Rossi goes to the outside. Hakkinen's caught on the curb. Runs it a bit wide. Hakkinen got the inside line though, but Verstappen is through, and Rossi's going to have to sit behind. He's not thinking about a supersonic dive bomb of the century. So Dixon exiting the pits in 8th currently, but it'll be like 12th. Well, yeah, it'll be about 12th when he comes out. Hakkinen is coming in this lap. Inside he's been overtaken. Let's get these tyres now before I lose any more time on them. Phil Hill's coming in 3rd. Moss is still happy at the moment to carry on with the tyres he's got. So here we go. So Felix Costa has closed the gap to Phil Hill down to 6 seconds. So he's found some good time in the last few laps to close right up on Phil Hill. It's good to know. Moss is crossing the line to begin lap 44. And he's coming in, so he's going to have 7 or 8 laps on his last set of tyres to really blister it out. So if Hulkenberg doesn't pit, keeps going, Moss has got to set some blistering lap times to make up. They're probably about 8 seconds he'll end up behind Hulkenberg. Hill enters the pits. Felix da Costa's going to continue. And I don't see why he should pit under any circumstances. He should be able to go to the end. Heidfeld might have to come in. I think he was one of the next in line to make pit stops. There was a big bunch about the same time as Moss. Now Heidfeld continues, Vettel continues, Pavlovic, he should go to the end, I think. Felix is the pits behind Pavlovic, so he's got to get past the red knight. That is going to hurt Hill. He's going to have to hope that his brand new tyres annihilate the Serb around these corners and in the traction zones and in the braking zones and just everywhere. He needs maximum pace from those tyres that are not going to have much time to exist. Verstappen's ahead of Rossi. Hamilton's pitting, so with Hamilton coming out of the way, Dixon's now going to have a chance to get past. He's going to have to hope this undercut really helps him and that Hamilton gets out of the way and the people who are racing. Hakkins come out ahead of Visser. Prost has got Gurney behind, but Prost is coming in this lap. Stirling Moss is going to exit the pits. Nico Hulkenberg is going to assume the race lead. Now, is he coming in this lap? He is not, although 36.0 is not a great time when Moss can probably go about 2 seconds a lap quicker. He was 5.8, he's about 6 seconds behind. Okay, well, we'll find out at the end of the Hangar Straight, or the Wellington Straight, what it is. But it's about 7-8 seconds is what Moss has got to find to catch up to Hulkenberg, who may or may not be pitting. We don't know for sure yet. Felix da Costa probably isn't pitting. He's going to be racing Hulkenberg if Hulkenberg does come in. Heidfeld is happy to carry on, so is Vettel. Maybe these two are carrying on to the end. Dixon 10th now, due to a few more pit stops. Here we go, so Hill on his brand new tyres, it's Pavlovic on his old tyres that he's going to try and nurse across the line. I hope they don't go pop. Hill got to the inside line. He sends it right at the inside Pavlovic. Pavlovic's going to fight. He's got the inside line for Luffield. This is where Hill is going to have to struggle. Either keep his foot down or to live with it. I tried to get his foot down early and it didn't work. Got wheel spin. But get in the slipstream, get him into cops. Come on, Phil. This is your chance. Make the move up the inside. You've got the tyres. Pavlovic's taking such an awkward outside line, but he defends and Hill has to get out of the throttle and Max has thrown him off. Vettel is challenging Heidfeld but can't get through because it's the straights that kill him. Hulkenberg does not seem to be pitting. I think this is probably about the point where you're not going to come into the pits. So again, Heidfeld and Vettel, this again might be their last chance. After this I don't think you'll come in. We'll just go and hope that the lap time doesn't drop off significantly. Nope, they're happy. Just Hill throwing away some easy points here. Hill chasing down Pavlovic. Can he do it? It's like, oh, he gets off the brakes. Forces Pavlovic wide, but Pavlovic has got the inside line once again. Hill can't do anything. Gets in the slipstream. Gets out the slipstream earlier. Apparently somebody's not got them much overlap. Got the inside curb, and he's having to lift because Pavlovic's outside line just appears on the exit curb in the right place, but Hill has to get out the throttle. He just can't keep doing that. It's not going to work. Hulkenberg not coming in still, but Moss already has cut the gap down to 5 seconds, so he's catching. Hulkenberg's just going to have to defend like mad on the final lap or two. Just hope that he can keep that inside line for Luffield, because that seems to be the only thing that's working. Hill against Pavlovic once again. Hill has got the tyres to go and chase after Heidfeld and Vettel, but he don't think he's got the laps anymore. And there's Pavlovic, who's one of the drivers I was expecting to keep going anyway. He's got no reason to come in. Now, who's that? John Watson's coming to the pits from 11th. So obviously there are drivers still having to make pit stops because of tyres. So I wouldn't count your chickens yet if you're a Heidfeld, Vettel or Hulkenberg fan. Hill has finally got past Pavlovic into Brooklands. Like literally the time that I look away is the time that the overtake happens, which if you're still a Hill fan is slightly annoying, but also means that he's got through and therefore you don't care. Earlier on the brakes, Pavlovic on the outside, but Hill's ahead and he cuts the inside and makes sure Pavlovic cannot follow. So Hill up to 6th now. He's got, what's that, 6 seconds to catch up to Vettel. It's doable. In what, 5 laps? If he's going to have to string in an overtake as well, I don't think so. Hulkenberg, 4-second lead, but is he going to come into the pits this lap? No, he is happy. Well, that's less than 4 now. So 33.8 is what Moss has just done. I didn't notice what Hulkenberg's lap time was, but it wasn't in the 33s, I can tell you that much. Especially as he's now coming up to put a lap on Ayrton Senna. That's going to slow him down a tad. Because Senna's good in the straights. So he's going to have to get him in the corners. And getting him in the corners is when you're going to get slowed down. So he's going to have to hope that he can get past Senna, but Senna really annoys Moss as well. 3.7 seconds is the gap for the race leader. Hulkenberg versus Moss. Felix and Costa in 3rd and absolutely nowhere. Heidfeld's still ahead of Vettel because Vettel cannot get past down the straights. Hill is closing up at 5.2 seconds, but he's not got enough time to get anything done here. He needs the tyres to absolutely fall apart. Moss streaming into maggots. That is a fantastic camera shot. I missed it in that one. Felix Costa is miles away. Before Heidfeld and Vettel here. There's Vettel, he's close. He knows he can get Heidfeld. He knows it's possible, he just can't do it. Ragunathan from 16th has made another pit stop, so he has lost his front wing. How and where has that happened? I was thinking a 4-stroke strategy. I know you're not good at looking after your tyres, but you're not that bad, are you? Oh, he's lost it very early in the lap. Oh, wow. He's actually clipped John Watson as Watson exited the pits. Oh, that was ungainly. Inexperience shown by the chopper driver, unfortunately. Hulkenberg 1:35.1, Stirling Moss 34.0, so 1.1 seconds is the time that Moss has made up, but he's got 4 laps to catch up and make a move. 2.8 seconds, he can certainly close the gap, and actually he's closed the gap enough, close enough to Senna, that Senna might be an irritant and might actually influence this overtake. Oh, Vettel is pushing so hard, he's tearing those tyres up out of club, trying to keep up with Heidfeld, because he knows this is a section of downforce. Well, if he's close enough, he could have sent one inside a village. But I think we'll head back to the front. Senna taking inside line, he knows that Hulkenberg coming, he's got the blue flags. But, oh, Maggots and Beckett's, this is a really awful place. Senna doing his best to get out of the way, but in fact he's just got in the way. Hulkenberg files through though, doesn't lose a drastic amount of time. What's Senna going to do for Moss? Is he going to let him through somewhere nicely? Of course, Senna lapped so many cars last week that he must be in the mood to just be nice to people being lapped because they were nice to him. There's a massive bundle of cars for 12th place, which we'll follow in a second. We'll just see how Moss can navigate Senna. Senna really awkward in the Vale chicane. 1.8 seconds is Hulkenberg's lead, with 3 laps to go. So what's Visser, Hamilton and Norris doing? Well, they're scrapping. Hamilton's got low downforce, which is allowing him to pull away on the straights, but not able to get past Visser. Hulkenberg 1.4 seconds is the gap back to Moss. This is surely going to be inevitable. Hulkenberg just needs to defend really hard, because he's not going to do this on pace at all. As it is with Heidfeld up to 4th, this is going to really close them up in the championship. Right there. Down within the second. Heidfeld on 77 points, stays it in 4th, he will go up to 90 points. Moss on 72 points, if he finishes 2nd, got to 89 points. Hulkenberg is on 71, if he wins will go up to 91. So if they stay like this, it'll be 3 points between the top 2. Moss and Hulkenberg switch, then they're going to swap places with Moss on 81 and Hulkenberg on 78. Is it? Whatever's going to happen, these Hulkenberg, Moss and Heidfeld are going to be ultra close in the championship. 2 laps to go here at the British Grand Prix, and we have a thrilling finale on the way. We could see an overtake for the race win on the last lap on absolute pace. If the 2 stopping Hulkenberg in the DTK versus the 3 stopping Moss in the Red Knight, this isn't a move into Brooklands yet. Hulkenberg needs to park his car on apexes at the right moment and just hold Moss up. But look how much he's squirreling out of left field. Moss has got so much more pace than that DTK. It's 0.2, 0.1. Is he going to make this move into Cops? It'd be a brave man to try it. There's almost contact. Hulkenberg runs wide. Moss has to lift out so he doesn't crash into the back. Hulkenberg survives another complex of corners. Moss is absolutely on the tail of that DTK. The yellow and purple rear section of the DTK. He's got the pace down the straight. But no, it's not happening. Into the braking zone. Hulkenberg keeps the lead. 1 more lap to go for Nico to keep it and take his 2nd win of the season. 1 more lap for Moss to try and find a way through and get his 2nd win of the season. Hulkenberg won in Australia, Moss won in France. Who's going to win at Silverstone? This is it. Brooklands has been the best overtaking spot for everybody all race. It's worth pointing out that 4th, 5th, Hill has caught up to Vettel and Heidfeld, so that's going to be a switch as well, but that's not the battle for the win. This is the one we care about. Moss challenging Heidfeld, Hulkenberg even. He's not able to make a move into Brooklands. So Hulkenberg survives, but Moss has been showing excellent control yesterday. Hulkenberg squirreling out of Lando. Is this going to be his chance? Can he make the move into Cops corner? He's got Silverstone, he's got the inside line. This is his best chance. Moss up the inside. Hulkenberg's going to fight it around the outside. Can Moss keep the momentum up? Into Maggots and Beckett's we go. Moss takes an alternate line. He tries to force Hulkenberg wide. Hulkenberg's not having it for the moment. 0.3, this is it. This is it. Can Stirling Moss find a way through? I don't think he's close enough. It's going to have to be a suicide lunge into Vale. Can he do it? I don't think so. 3 corners to go. Hulkenberg has managed to masterfully two-stop this. He will take the championship lead. Out of club, onto the Hamilton straight for the final time. Sensational finish as Nico Hulkenberg wins the British Grand Prix ahead of Sterling Moss in second. Felix Costa can take third. So here we go. Phil Hill has caught up to Vettel and Heidfeld. I think Heidfeld's safe in 4th. I think he's just safe in 4th. As Vettel's got the slipstream enough to keep him ahead of Hill. Hill's brand new tyres. Can he find a way past Vettel? I don't think so. And now Heidfeld will take 4th, as Felix Costa's finished the podium. Vettel in a frustrated 5th, and Phil Hill will take 6th. Pavlovic comes across the line in 7th. With Verstappen taking 8th, Rossi climbing up to 9th, and Dixon, who was the first to pit all race, ending up 10th. Couldn't keep his tyres going. Hakkinen will be 11th as Visser holds off Hamilton and Norris. Take 12th ahead of the pair of them. Norris managing to get Chopper back in the points, scoring multiple points for them for the first time since France. And John Watson will take the final point in 15th place, so double points for 2KF1. That's nice because they've not had that often this season, only twice. Senna 16th, Prost 17th, and Gurney third after his extra stop takes 18th. Well, that was a stunning finish. Moss had the pace, just not in the right places. And Hulkenberg managing to hold off, take his second win of the season, elevating him to the top of the championship with 3 points separating, actually no, 2 points separating the top 3 drivers in the standings. This is getting close as we get towards the last 4 races of the season. I hope you've enjoyed this delayed British Grand Prix at a circuit it wasn't supposed to be at originally, but it's been good fun. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please remember to smash like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or if you're not subscribed at all. Why wouldn't you be subscribed? You know what this epic content's going to be. Come back next week, hopefully, and see what we've got in store. If you enjoyed the race, comment down below. If you haven't enjoyed the race, comment down below. Tell me what's going on, and who knows, you might want to come and join in on the fun and be here next week for the next round, which is the Austrian Grand Prix. So follow the link in the description to the race department if that's what you want to do, and we'll see you next week for the Austrian Grand Prix. And with that, we say goodbye.